have been reefing for many years now, and there are a couple things that make reefing easier every single day. This here is my main display tank. It is a 65-gallon Red Sea Max, and it is pretty stocked up right now. This wasn't my first reef tank though. I actually started with a 16-gallon BioCube, and I sold it a couple years after I set it up. I saw it pop up again on OfferUp years later, but I wasn't back into the hobby at that time, and now I've been looking for it again, hoping it would pop up for a third time, because I think it would be super cool to have the tank that I started with 10 years ago or whatever it is, and just like rebuild it. I don't know. After all these years, I've definitely come across my share of things or items that I use with reef tanks to just make everything much easier, whether it's something that I use on a daily basis or whether it's something that I set and forget. Let's start with the everyday items first. Everyday items are gonna be right here on the top, and that is these tweezers right here. These are a must-have in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying like these specific ones, this brand and all that, but a set of long tweezers so that you don't have to reach your hand all the way to the bottom of your tank. I mean, if you have a really small tank, I guess this doesn't really matter, but when you have a larger tank, getting your hand all the way to the bottom is like, you're gonna be all the way up to your armpit, and nobody wants to do that. Boop, 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 boop. I gotta get the coral all the way at the bottom. I gotta get a coral all the way at the bottom. Still going down, still going down. Oh, I could probably pick it up now. Look at this. I would be all the way in there. Whereas with the tweezers, boom, 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 I'm in. I gotta grab this guy down here, suppose. Boom, I got it. I'm not even past my elbow. Not very expensive, and definitely more of a daily use item, especially if you're moving corals around, grabbing them to frag them, if you drop stuff, they're just great. You guys told me to roll up my seaweed tighter, so I started doing that. I feel like my fish still rip it off there pretty quickly, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Gloves are the next thing on the everyday list of items to make your reefing journey easier. I personally have these super, super long gloves, but you know, you don't have to get these in general. I like these because I could literally not use the tweezers, put my hand all the way to the bottom of the tank and still not get my arm wet. Number one. Number two, I have to, these are, anytime I stick my hand in the tank, I'm basically using these because my clownfish attack my hands. So they don't attack me when I put these on. On the off chance that they do, which is like very, very rare, I don't feel it. But it startles me every time if I put my hand in the tank without the gloves on and the clownfish bite me. It just gets me. I don't like touching a lot of corals. I'm always afraid that I'm gonna get something in my bloodstream, or I don't know, toxins, whatever. I personally don't like doing it. I know a lot of corals you can touch, but it's just easier for me to use the gloves, and I feel safer when doing it. These gloves are super duper long, but any gloves are helpful in my opinion, because there are definitely some corals that you don't really want to mess with too much. Zoas could be, you know, a little bit more of a cautious coral. I probably wouldn't be wearing these if I was doing like fragging, just because they're bigger and harder to like maneuver around. This is kind of just like if I'm cleaning my glass and stuff like that. But some sort of gloves, definitely recommend it. Another thing that my tank uses every single day is a doser. Now this isn't as budget friendly as a pair of tweezers or gloves, but you could definitely still get a budget friendly option and customize the doser bottles like I did. I have this 3-pump doser, which I don't think this one was too expensive either. Honestly, I bought it years ago. I don't exactly remember, but it was probably around $100 maybe. And then I picked up these smart water bottles and made my own custom dosers, which you could go back on the channel and see a video of how I did that if you'd like. But this thing is just like, highly recommend if you have that little extra budget to make the reef tank just all around better. It's gonna bring more stability to the tank. Not only that, it's gonna like relieve a lot of pressure from you having to do things. When working with a larger tank like this, you're gonna wanna keep your alk and calcium to certain levels, whatever those levels may be for you. And having a doser really helps with that because it keeps those levels in a really tight range. Also, you not having to dose every day is a game changer. So yeah, set up a doser if you can. If not, I mean, you can hand dose every single day, but it's gonna get old really fast. There is one other piece of equipment that I have set up in this tank that is not an everyday use in terms of like, I don't really access it every day. However, it's making the tank run better every single day, if that makes sense. And that is my in-tank media basket. right in here. I'm not gonna pull it all the way out because it's gonna make a sandy mess in the tank, but this is basically a rack that slides all the way down in the chamber. It has different levels in the rack, so that way the water can freely flow through everything. So I have on my side, I have my filtered floss and magic pads, and then on the top I have Purigen, and on the middle row I had a ChemiPure Elite, but right now I'm running the GFO. And then on the bottom, before I took them out, I used to have like the Rubble, but I don't have that anymore. So now I only use those two and the filter floss pad. But it's just a lot more convenient to pull that rack out from the top than having to like reach down there and get everything out. Again, this isn't like an essential piece of, you know, equipment that you need, but it does make accessing everything better if you have the extra budget. Just like that, the seaweed still came off and flew around. I don't get it. They just love to rip it off. They are crazy with it. In terms of everyday reefing, that is just about what I have running on this tank to make everything as smooth as possible. I do have another really exciting piece in the other aquarium though. By the way guys, Skellyfest Miami is around the corner. I hope you guys already got your tickets for September 21st. Check out the glasses we just got in, Skellyfest Dream State Living glasses. Be there early to try and grab your pair. If you guys are looking to go VIP, I would grab those tickets ASAP because they are very, very close to being sold out. They might even be sold out by the time you guys see this. So go to skellyfest.com and grab your tickets today. With this tank, I'm sure those of you guys that watch the channel already know what I'm gonna say, but the auto top-off system is a next level reef tank piece of equipment. I know there's not much going on in this tank right now, but it has just made everything so much better. That and the extra pump. So I got that guy in there in the Reef Casa 2-gallon backpack setup, and this is the little controller for it, and then it runs back through here, and there is the little sensor for it right there, which I got figured out, guys, and it is now stopping where I want it to stop and drops in right here. This little thing is freaking awesome. I put water in this container right here like every 2 to 3 weeks, and not because it's empty, just because it's like getting close, so I just go ahead and fill it up 3/4 of the way just so I don't have to worry about it. But my mom no longer has to do it when I'm out of town, so that helps not only me, but her as well, and just all she has to do is come in here and feed the fish, which is freaking great. I want to say I paid like 50 or 60 bucks for the actual auto top-off thing on Amazon, and then the Reef Casa 2-gallon backpack reservoir is, I think, $80. So you can get an auto top-off system for a smaller tank like this for around 150 bucks. Not too bad, and it just makes life much easier. I will have links to the ATO that I use in my aquarium gear link in the description below. That's it, guys. All the gear that I find to make my reefing journey as easy as possible. Some budget-friendly options, and then some if you got a little bit of extra money to spend. And it just, you know, you don't have to do it all at once either. Like, just slowly. It took me, what? I had this tank set up for, I don't know, almost 2 years before I got the auto top-off set up. And then ever since I got it, I can't wait to get one set up on the other tank, to be honest. But do things at your own pace. You don't have to do everything at once. Just slowly chip away and make life easier and easier and easier. I hope to see you guys all at Skellyfest, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.